if you have something to offer,
do it.
It's not the like gloss and the
it's
superficial.
not that serious. And when you look at the comments, like people are implementing her strategies and they're winning too. Like that's all she's just like, look, if it's happening to me,
right?
Me,
yeah,
it can happen to you. Okay,
we need a song.
Yeah, we do need to figure out music.
We are out of office. We are out of office.
We are. Okay. We're out of office.
And we are out of office.
It's a beautiful day today.
It is.
The weather is weathering.
The weather is, I do not like the overcast days, and when the sun is out now, I am grateful for it.
It's feeling nice. And I think it's going to be mild today.
I love
it's
that.
Not going to be cold like it's been like last couple of days.
When I'm out in the sun, I call it charging my melanin.
Word.
And my battery was not full. And so I need to go and sit.
You need to sit outside.
I need to sit out and charge my brown.
And then take a little vitamin D.
That's right.
To supplement.
Very important.
What we're getting from the sun.
That's right.
So we're trying something new today because it dawned on me that we keep saying we're out of office, but we don't have an out of office reply.
We do. We need the auto reply.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your out of office reply?
Okay, so my auto reply, you send me a message, I'm out of office. My auto reply is this week. There's a time to say job well done. This is my time. For all other inquiries, please direct your correspondence to 2025.
That's right.
Because get someone else to do it.
Get someone else to do it.
That's right.
My out of office reply is I will be out of the country for the next week.
No, I was like forever? Okay.
No, not
You're
not
coming
forever.
back.
I am coming back.
Come back. Okay.
I'm going for a work conference in London. I'm going to see my brethren over there. And magnesium glycinate is your friend.
Oh, okay. I love that. Magnesium glycinate. I've been on magnesium this lately too.
Yeah, magnesium glycinate is my friend.
We could do a whole episode about magnesium, but I just read that it's like one of the most deficient minerals or substances that are essential in the body.
Girl.
If you're not supplementing magnesium, you heard it here.
Magnesium glycinate.
Yes, it has to be, exactly.
It has to be the higher
grade. And it's a little bit more
grade.
expensive.
A little bit more expensive, but it's worth
better
it.
Absorption.
Yeah, better absorption.
Keep everything moving.
Definitely keeps things moving.
Yeah.
Helps you sleep.
Essential.
I like to couple it with lysine.
Okay. I have not started lysine.
It's magnesium glycinate with lysine. And then I also include some theanine.
Theanine.
L-theanine.
Okay.
That combo.
Okay.
When I tell you I'm out like a light.
Okay.
Like a light.
For sleep. Okay.
Out like a light.
Like a light.
Like a light.
Well, you look radiant.
Thank you.
So the light's on now.
Yes. So
okay.
I started using a new setting powder, Huda Beauty's like translucent powder.
It looks
which
lovely.
brightens up the face. So
it looks fantastic. I forgot that. So
no, no, you always look great.
This is the length of the eye. Okay.
The lashes are lashing, and then this pink. And
I was focused. I did the nails today.
I love that.
I was focused on I can only focus on two things. I was focused on getting my lashes together today.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not gonna be stressing about this. And I have a new system. I put the glue on my eyelid as opposed to the lash. Oh. Because they make it that way now. Yeah.
Okay.
It has like a brush, and I just use it like eyeliner, and it's just like 5-minute installation. You got to cut it the lash the right size, and then boom.
It looks. Boom. It always looks good.
Well, but the struggle that has led to that. If you see before today, when I solved the problem, if you saw eyelashes on my eyes, there had been a battle. That I lost. But then recovered. That is what happened.
Oh my God!
Every time there was the battle of the glue.
Oh my God!
The battle of
this is why I never mess with lashes.
The fringe. Yeah. No, but it's worth it. But it's something you have to practice.
Okay.
So but anyway,
teach me your ways.
Yes, I'm here for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for me, and I'm here for you.
I'm not joking. I really need you to teach me your ways.
I feel like I'm the nutty professor. That's what I was telling you. I'm like the nutty professor of all experiments of beauty. I mean, my hair, the eyelashes.
You're doing the Lord's work because you're doing it so we don't have to.
Right. It's a mess.
I love it.
But you know what? We're making progress.
Amen to that.
Amen.
We
so
love a good progress.
This is leading into our I See You Girl segment.
Yes. So again, we're kind of matching.
I know.
This is unintentional. We've been doing this for the last couple.
But I love the sweater.
This. Thank you. Yeah.
So,
I got it on Amazon.
Nikki T is really
Amazon.
Nikki. Okay. First of all, the fact that that's sold on Amazon.
I know.
We need to confer. I feel like you need to share this. This magic. Okay, let me just describe this one. If you're not watching the video, but if you are listening, there is a whole video. We're posting the videos on YouTube, so you got to watch the video so that you see, because we do come in here, with some effort. Okay, but Nikki T today with the sweater. I mean, it's got the lavender that goes into the salmon color that goes into the lovely forest greens, like the army green, the forest green down the arm, and the pattern is fabulous. The fit is nice. Like, it's just perfect. I can't believe. Amazon.
But this is the thing. The reason why I know about these things is because I listen to the fashion girlies on YouTube.
Right.
That be putting me on. So this one, I got this. I saw Melrose Steele.
Oh, okay. I know.
Wear it on
it's
one
beautiful.
of her videos, and I was like, skirt.
Yeah, skirt.
I was the running emoji.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
And I went to Amazon.
Then look at Cyber Monday. So, you know what? If we can, I don't know if people hear this by Cyber Monday, but. That's why people don't miss an episode, because you put you on the hot stuff. Hot stuff.
Yes.
Well, I love it. Today I
love the pink.
I was like, I'm gonna make sure that these are press-ons. So
you and your press-on nail game, I swear.
Look, now I have to give a shout out. This is OPI. I get them at Ulta. And again, as a writer, because I cannot have long nails, and I have to be able to have versatility, I can't really go get them done and have like the whole thing.
Yes.
But these are they're shaped well. And so they're easy to put on. The fit is perfect, and they come off.
These
have been on for a week. I've washed my hair at least 4 times with them.
They stayed on?
And they stayed on.
And it's OPI?
It's OPI.
Okay, we need to include a link for that.
I know. I will. They're, these are my, so I did this because all the other episodes I've come in with no nails. But I just got back from Miami, the Miami Book Fair. And so I had to, signing books and doing things.
That's right. So how was the book fair?
Cute. It was fantastic.
How was the weather? Did you eat?
The weather was wonderful. And so this is my second time at the Miami Book Fair.
Yeah.
And the first time I went was in 2021, at the end of 2021, and it was basically a monsoon. So when I got out 2 things happened. Number 1, I had gotten a COVID booster. Number 2, the weather was horrible. Like, it was literally like the winds were blowing, the trees were bending. It was a mess. So all I did was go from I can't believe my plane landed, but we landed in this madness of like rain and just like super gale force. I don't know if it was gale force winds. I'm exaggerating because I'm a writer. But listen, it was a mess. So we went to the hotel, and I just like slept until my event because it was a mess. It was terrible. And then I think I watched the Tina Turner documentary.
So
good. And but I was like, this is not why
docs.
I'm in Miami, but that's okay. So I was there, but I did not get to enjoy the weather. I couldn't go out. It was the first book fair again in person since COVID.
Right.
But so people weren't really out as much. So this was my first time getting to experience the Miami Book Fair.
And people were out, weren't they?
People were out.
Yeah.
The music was going. Miami is beautiful. And I don't know that English is the first language there.
Oh.
Everybody speaks Spanish. I felt deficient. I speak Spanish. And I was like...
And French.
And French. But I'm like, clearly my French is much better than my Spanish, because I was like, I need help.
Wow.
My ego was bruised. I was like, I have a segment. I have to talk about this in a later segment, actually.
Okay. We'll talk about it.
About my learnings. But yes, so.
Oh, okay. Well, at least you had fun.
I had a wonderful time. And it's like, it was a convergence of authors and panels, and, you get to get your book signed and hear from.
That's so
I heard from Nicola Yoon about her.
Oh my gosh, I
book,
love Nicola Yoon.
She has a new book.
Which one? What's the title?
Don't ask me the title.
Okay, I'll look it up.
No, that's too many facts.
I've never been to a book fair. I've always heard great things about the Miami Book Fair, and then there's one in Europe. Is it Berlin or?
Oh, the London
Book Fair.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard great things about that too.
I also met Alice Randall. She wrote The Wind Done Gone.
Yeah.
And she also wrote X's and O's for Trisha Yearwood. She's a songwriter and an author. So I was so inspired. I went over, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm taking singing lessons. She was like, anything you need, you call me. She was so nice.
That's so cool.
That's why I was like, you gotta go to these events in person.
You do.
Because the people that write these things and give of themselves as artists in this way, they're really
they're excited to meet the readers.
They're excited to meet people, and they're also excited for your excitement about what you're doing. So especially writers, if you want to write or if you're looking to write, go to these book events and meet authors. I'm meeting my inspirations and idols. Like The Wind Done Gone was iconic. So all of these people that kind of paved the way. It's just been great to meet my heroes. Yeah,
I love that for you.
I love it for me. I love it for us.
I love it for I love it for the readers too. Because, I don't know if people think initially like, oh, I'm going to go to a book fair.
No,
you always
wonderful.
go to these conferences that are either work related or very specific in niche, like Complex Con or Culture Con or whatever. So, next year, I think next year, let's do it. I want to go. I want to do a book fair.
I think we should go, and I think maybe we should try to plan one. That would be fun. You know what I mean?
Should.
I just think there should be more of these. That's
right.
We can't have enough, and especially it was such an intimate environment. It's like these are people who offer so much, and to be able to ask a question even.
Right.
Like that's the whole point of it. Not the panel, but to be able to raise your hand and be like, so can you answer this question for
so
me?
at this point of the book, did you really, what were you thinking? How did you write this scene?
Oh my gosh.
How did you write this chapter?
And
where did
these
that come
are real
from?
thinkers. So there's going to be a substantive, so there's BeautyCon. I feel like I've balanced it all out now.
Yeah, I know. You've been to a lot of cons.
I've been to a lot of cons. But this was wonderful. I did one panel, one signing.
That's great.
And I had the nails for the girls.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it. I really do. I just love what you do and how you find opportunities to connect with folks. It's just, I don't know. Part of me is, I wish I had the patience enough to be a writer.
I feel like you have it's coming. I feel like it's coming.
I can't.
There's all these things that you've said. I feel like it's great that this is on a podcast because I'm never going to wear my hair natural. I'm never going to write anything. And I'm like, okay, we just going to wait. Mm-hmm.
I just don't have the patience for it. I have the mind of, this is why I'm a producer, because I can, come up with these ideas and then give it to someone else to write it. So I can do 11 things or 11 things at once. I can't. At least not now. I can't imagine myself sitting down and being like, okay, I'm going to write a chapter and then multiple chapters, and then I'm going to submit it, and then they will give me notes, and then I'll have to address those notes because I usually am the one giving notes.
Right. But then it's great to be on both sides. You always find yourself on both sides of every experience in life. I say this to people all the time, and it's true. Like, you will always find yourself on both sides of every experience in life.
That is very true.
Eventually.
That's true.
Which is why you just, make sure that what you doing.
She was like, it's on record.
If you're going to be on the
look
hedge,
up 2 years from now, you're going to have a book and stuff and be on your own tour.
I know, exactly. But I will say the one thing about this, and then we can move on to other topics, but it doesn't happen all at once. So, sitting down and writing a book is really the equivalent of, 30 minutes over the course of 6 months, 30 minutes a day over the course of 6 months. Or taking notes and fixing notes is really like an hour to 2 hours a day over the course of 3 months. So it's not like you need a whole lot of patience to sit. I mean, it all depends, but you can do it you have to kind of do it in bites, and it's really miserable if you are sitting there and just like 8 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours a day. I don't know anybody. I mean, maybe some people do it that way, but, there's balance.
Okay.
There's balance.
All right, so you can put me on to the nails, and then you're going to put me on to writing. Great.
And I'll put links, but yeah.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move on to Black Girl Big Up to some of the, you know, women that we've been seeing and admiring from afar.
Yes.
I am a big fan of Doe Dash on YouTube.
I checked this out just because I saw this in your show notes.
She is my new favorite motivational speaker. She simply wants everyone to win. What really got me was their video. I don't know how my algorithm was like, you need this girl in your life. But thank you, algorithm. Because she did this video. She was in a car. And she basically said, I'm making $6,000. And I don't even look like none of y'all. And I fell out. And so every once in a while, she does these videos where, like, if you're 50 years old and you have advice, you need to get your ass on YouTube. Like, those are the type of titles you'll see. She's been incredibly transparent on her journey. When I found her, she was at 60,000 followers, but which means she just got there. Because she did a video, was like, I'm at 60,000. I just got 20,000 people overnight or some stuff like that. Something crazy like that. Now she's at 67, I want to say, 67, 68. So she is, her method is just posting multiple times.
And it's just not even, it is not even produced.
It's not produced at all.
Edited. It's not, didn't do her hair. She didn't make her bed. She just put the camera up. And started
she's talking.
And
part of the reason why you like her is because what she's speaking is she's speaking facts.
Well, I mean, it's just, there's no fluff. Like, it's just about the substance. And she's telling you about her weight loss journey. She's telling you about her surgery, her skin surgery. She's telling you about the facts of her life. And there's no filler to it. Like, there's no gloss. There's no it's unfiltered.
It's very unfiltered.
It's unfiltered.
But it's a breath of fresh air because, you know, YouTube, I mean, it reminds me of early days of YouTube when people were just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I have a camera in my room and I'm just start talking. And then, you know, now YouTube is like TV.
Yeah.
But it's great because she's just
she has
great.
Something to say. But you know what I think it is,
she's just
too?
Great.
That when you've been on YouTube for 5 years, 10 years, you might have run out of things to say.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And so it's hard to be new and fresh and whatever. So I think when somebody comes to something, whether it's to writing, I always tell people, if you feel like you want to write a book, you should. Or if it's to content, that thing that makes you want to do it is that thing that is that new perspective on something that you want to deliver that has value. So
exactly.
I think that these, you know, it doesn't, I think that's a good lesson for everybody. Like, if you have something to offer,
do it.
It's not the like gloss and the
it's
superficial.
Not that serious. And when you look at the comments, like people are implementing her strategies and they're winning too. Like, that's all she's just like, look, if it's happening to me, me?
Yeah.
It can happen to you. So stop playing game and get your ass on YouTube.
Get yourself together.
So shout out to Doe Dash.
I love that. I have two ICU girls. So Dr. Shante Holly, Dr. Shante Holly, who Dr. Shante says. So I came across her video. She's talking about radical acceptance. So I feel like at this time in this podcast, that was very helpful. That's not my only ICU girl. But I wanted to mention that because I felt like it was worth watching. And I'll put a link to that video about radical acceptance in this era, because I think we're going to need that message for now and later. And part of that is just evaluating. Like, radical acceptance, part of that is just evaluating the circumstances as they are, being able to actually see things for what they are. And then after you evaluate and accept, you can make your strategies and plans about what do you need to do going forward. So I really love that. But this is not a girl. It's not an ICU girl. It's an ICU guy. I see you guy. This is Wesley Addy. So I saw a video of his on Instagram, and it just really moved me. He stands in the middle of a high school courtyard, and as the students walk in for the day, he greets them with affirmations that are specific to them. So he'll say, "You are so majestic. I see you in your majesticness as you walk through the courtyard today." And there's someone else. He's like, "You have such a calming presence. You bring everybody comfortable around you." And I went to his video. He said, "Your smile is a ray of sunshine that lights up the school today." And he'll say them by name, you know, like So it's clear that it's directed, it's specific, it's intentional, and it's personalized. And he told one student, "I admire your bravery to speak about things that matter to you." So I think I need this person for myself in the mornings.
Could you imagine hearing that as a teen?
And I need to hear it today now.
Today, as a grown-ass woman, I need to hear that.
I need to hear that when I wake up in the morning. So what I've decided to do, so I've been listening to his videos over and over and listening to his structure and format because I realized I need to be that for myself.
Word.
Like I need to learn how to talk to myself in that way.
Word.
And I think we have our internal voice of, taking inventory of what it is. Maybe it's criticism. Maybe it's telling you what you need to do for the day. But you might need to learn a new voice, a new internal voice, a new way of speaking to yourself. So I'm learning it from this guy, this gentleman, this king on Instagram, Wesley Addy. So thank you so much. He's the Good Shepherd on Instagram, and he's teaching me how to speak to myself.
I love that so much. I think you're absolutely right. I'm on the same wavelength myself, which we'll talk about a little bit later in the health and healing section. But I think we really do need to be mindful of the words that we're using for ourselves. I mean, we're always saying, like, if you don't have anything nice, don't say it to others. I mean, we don't even think of ourselves in that situation. And I think we're in this season of doing that. So I think
100%.
I love that you're like, I want to dissect how he, put together these affirmations so that I can write them down for myself. And remind myself daily of those affirmations.
Yeah,
I think that's beautiful.
And if you see those kids, like they
light up. Probably
they light up, and their chest sticks out. They stand tall, and they gain 2 inches. And I'm like, wow, the power of that. So anyway, so that was
that's beautiful.
It was. I see you, Wesley Addy.
All right.
We see you, boo. We see you.
Okay, cool.
We should say King. I feel, I don't know. We need another name for something.
King is good.
I don't know. It doesn't
King
roll off my.
Roll off the tongue.
We gotta put something else.
Figure out how to. No, but that's so important.
Simba.
Not Simba. Not the Lion King. Do you know they're doing a prequel for The Lion King called Mufasa?
I would believe it.
I saw the trailer for it before because I went to see Wicked, which is just chef's kiss.
I love that.
I saw the trailer. I was like, wait, what? I think it's called Mufasa. I think it's like the origin story of Mufasa and how him and Scar
came to be beefing?
Yes.
I mean, they're gonna squeeze every drop of that orange.
I don't know who asked for that. But
it doesn't matter.
Okay, moving on. Moving on.
What I'm on right now.
Right, correct. Thank you for moving us along. Okay, yes, hair journey checking, because again, the hair.
Girl. So, okay, because I'm on deadline, I have not been able to do the YouTube videos that I owe the world.
Yes.
I feel like I owe Curly Kind some information because in my Nutty Professor experiments, I've cracked the code. We're done now. We're done here.
Okay.
30 minutes styling, if that, 30 minutes drying, we out. Like, this is 4 days old. I literally sprayed my hair this morning.
Excuse
shook it like
me?
this. I woke up like this.
That's 4 days old.
Yeah, I woke up like this.
Y'all need to just stop listening to this podcast. Go to the video component and see this hair.
Okay, shout out to Miche. This is a Miche gel. Their tropical oasis gel, but I want to say that I don't think this is product specific. Like, I think this is a great product, and I'm getting great results. But I have a very specific technique now, which I'm going to break down. I have to do this in my YouTube video and break the technique down because I think it's technique and then product. I think I could get this result from I'm going to test it out, but I have to give credit where credit is due. This is currently Miche. I've been having a wonderful time. This has been a great
what's
experience.
Miche? Is that a
Miche
product
is
line?
A brand.
Okay.
So it's a Black-owned hair care brand.
I've never heard of Miche.
It's sold on the internet. It's not in stores.
Oh.
But they have great product assortments. People swear by their products. This is my first time trying a Miche product. This was the first, I saw it viral. It was a viral product. So I ordered it and I was like, let me try it out. And this is what we're doing.
4 days.
4 days out. So for if you're listening and you haven't checked the video out, but you got to check our videos because you got to. But yes, the curls are curling. Like the definitions there. It was a very, very quick process, and I need to break down the technique. I have 2 more experiments to try just to make sure. I'm going to try it with a few more products. But if it works and it comes together just like this, then I know it is. There's some things that need to be brought into the curly kind information sphere about product.
Wow.
But I literally sprayed my hair, shook it
Bravo.
out. Thank you.
I'm speechless because okay. I'll just wait for the video because I'm just confused. I'm really confused.
You're like, I
don't understand.
The video's coming. I'm going to break it all down, like my 100% of my whole technique. I'm break it all down. It's taken me, I think, at least 40 wash and goes. I've been washing my hair like 5 times a week to figure this out. But
that's really dope.
The journey continues.
Speaking of a journey,
yes.
So outside of the book fair,
yes,
you were also on Tavis Smiley.
I was.
How was that? I mean, I loved listening to your conversation, but how was it for you?
He was a really fantastic interviewer. He's been doing it for years and years and years. And so I think for me, being able to be interviewed by someone who's that good at being as an interviewer was really educational. And it gave me a chance he just gave me a chance to really speak in substance about my book.
Yeah, he
did. The great thing is like, the most wonderful time, it's a rom-com. It's a holiday rom-com. You can read it at the holidays. You can read it at the New Year's. It's a new year, new me. The comedy's there. The heart is there. The fun is there. The sex is there. All of that. But the substance is there.
That's very true.
Very much so. So to be able to talk about it from the substantive perspective, because my dad listened to it and he was like, it wasn't really like lighthearted and fun. I was like, well, yeah, because there's substance. That's not really the nature of his, show. It's not like a comedy program.
Right.
It's talk radio and it's hard hitting. And so to be able to bring something that is generally positioned as a romantic comedy to a space and have hard hitting substantive talk about Black women in healing and what's our role and how does, bias and how do these other factors factor into what I'm writing and what am I really substantively doing in my work?
Yeah.
To be able to be asked those questions and answer those questions was...
They were very thoughtful questions. I mean, it's Tavis Smiley, so he's been doing this for a very long time.
Very long time.
But yeah, they were very thoughtful questions. And I've heard you talk about this book many different times.
Yeah.
But this conversation was the first one that felt... academic, so to speak.
Yeah.
And he the way that he did his thing, but he also allowed you to do your thing because he was very mindful of like, look, this isn't really my jam. He said it multiple times too. He was like, to be clear, I'm a nonfiction guy. Right. And the way that he posed you to, talk about your book and how you wanted to break it down without revealing any spoilers, but it was really cool to hear how he was interpreting what you were saying.
Right.
And then turning it around and then asking you these questions that weren't the type of questions I would ask, but very, like I said, very academic. It felt very academic.
And he talks to so many brilliant minds, political minds, academics, community leaders, politicians. And so that's his regular discourse. So I think him coming from that position as an interviewer and being able to bring that lens to my work and have my work be able to stand up to that type of questions and that type of investigation, intellectual rigor was great for me because I don't think that I have had a conversation on that level because I've been mostly operating in, I will say contemporary fiction, but more romance and more, lighthearted spaces. Yeah. where my work fits, but there's a lot more. We were able to go close to the bottom of the ocean on this. So that was
really cool.
was cool.
And it was an hour-long conversation, so there was a lot to talk about. There was lots of mind there.
Yeah. Well, thank you for listening. And
as always, I'm always going to be listening. I love hearing what your thoughts and what you have to say and share and write about.
What are you on this week?
I'm going to keep it real brief because we do have a lot to get through. But astrology. I've been really into astrology. I have an astrologer that I reach out to every few years. And basically what he does, he confirms to me what I'm already feeling, right? And I've always been fascinated by this idea that where the time and place and date, all of it, of when you were born and how to, match that to what the universe looked
Patterns,
like at that moment, and how that can
when you showed up,
then how that can inform your journey, and it for me it's been bringing me closer to God, because obviously He's the creator of the universe. Yeah. So that snapshot of that your birthday with the universe and what it looked like, it's just awesome. So anyways, I have been on TikTok, obviously. I'm always there. But, there's been a lot of emphasis on Pluto entering Aquarius. Yeah. And the last time we had this event, it was in the 1700s, 1778 to 1798. And during that time period, we had the French Revolution, the Irish Revolution, the Constitutional Convention, which gave birth to the three branches of our government, for now at least, and the Haitian Revolution. For now. I'm being real. Okay. And the Haitian Revolution. So we haven't seen this for a long time.
So these are times of radical change.
Radical change, massive social, political, shift, and tech upheaval for the next 20 years. Oh, so fun. Aquarius is all about progress. So we're going to see some advancements in tech. And then Pluto is all about transformation. So we're going to see some hierarchical structures fall, which will give birth to more egalitarian systems. Interesting. I won't hold my breath.
That's something to look forward to. Bright side.
Right. For the next 20 years, some upheaval.
Hopefully.
So for each sign, you're entering a period of something. Yeah. Okay. But for me, which what really stood out, redefining long-term dreams. Oh. And it said, Pluto is going to force me to, consider a deep evaluation of my goals and aspirations, what truly matters, to me may shift with greater emphasis on purpose and social societal impact. Aries may feel compelled to pursue ambitious, unconventional dreams, especially those involving tech, innovation, or societal change.
Boom. And then you started a podcast. So clearly it's just totally wrong.
All I'm saying is astrology is my shit. And if you take it seriously and not in a campy way with horoscopes, which is, it's like astrology light, but really take the time to understand what astrology is.
Well, it's the oldest empirical science, actually. I mean, people have been studying this for years and years and years and marking birth dates and taking notes. So like empirical science is like a science of observation. And astrology is actually a science of observation that's thousands and thousands of years old. So I wouldn't call it fluff. Like it people really have been studying this for a long time.
And people have their things about it. And, if you're a Christian, you know exactly what they say about it. But we're not going to talk about it because this podcast is all about high vibrations. Right. To me, like I said, it's brought me closer to God because I feel like if you're looking at your time and place and looking at the universe and how it's used to really map out your life journey, like obviously it's God. Yeah. And it's already in you. Like I said, I've already been feeling these things. Right. So talking to my astrologer and then looking up this Pluto entering Aquarius and what it means for me
You got
to
know the times. But I think that's even in the Bible about knowing what the times are because the times are the times. And you need, which is again probably somewhere going back to that idea of radical acceptance and evaluating, to know the times that you are in, to know the place that you are in, to see the reality of the situation you're in. I mean, this election showed you some things that needed to be shown and seen one way or another.
Exactly.
So you've got to know the time so that you can take appropriate action for the times. You can't be operating out of time because it's not going to work. You know, like Bob Marley said, none of them can stop the time.
Okay.
Like, that's the reality.
That's the reality.
So,
You're absolutely right. So,
and it's not. I think the verse I think of when you were talking about this is Jeremiah 29:11 in the Bible. For I know the plans I have for you.
Plans to prosper you.
And not to harm you.
Okay.
To give you a future and a hope. So there was a plan even in the mind of God when the day you were born. And I think astrology, it gives you insight, and I think it confirms and affirms that. So I've had my birth chart done since I was a baby. I know I have a whole.
So you already know.
45-page chart. One of my mom's best friends was an astrologer, so she did my whole chart when I was born. My mom got my chart done, so I know everything. But it like, and I've gone back to read it, and there was a time in my life where I was operating so far from what it said I was going to be doing.
Yeah,
and I felt out of sync with myself. And
that's why I was saying you already know
it's there.
It's already
There's
there
a soul
within
print
you.
That you have.
Exactly.
And so I've forgotten about the chart many times. And then I go back and I read it. And as I've made life transitions, it's like I've been getting closer and closer. But it says I'm supposed to be in communications. I'm supposed to be a writer. And I'm like, I'm Aquarius sun. I'm a Scorpio rising, and I'm a Sagittarius moon. So it's like I'm a thinker, I'm a visionary, I'm a communicator, and I'm about growth.
Right.
Growth and change. So I'm with you. So.
This is fairly new to me.
Well, I support.
I'm diving in deep. So I support
100% this investigation.
Thank y'all.
I what is it? I endorse this message.
Yeah, you approve this message.
I approve this message.
So last week did we have a Jesus take? We did have a Jesus take the wheel, but we're having a Jesus take the wheel again this week. And I'm going to be real quick with mine. The devil is a liar. Yeah. Okay. The owner of Miel Organics. Miel. Thank you. I was going to ask you, how do I pronounce it? Because I don't use Miel.
I just saw her at BeautyCon. So she said it many times. I watched her speak.
It's in your head now.
Monique. Yes. Monique Rodriguez.
So she was on IG last week. It's a black-owned hair company. Products. I don't think I've ever used her products, but I've heard great things.
I was introduced to their styling products at BeautyCon, and I went to listen to her speak at BeautyCon a few weeks ago. Okay.
So I remember this vaguely, where there was a moment when she sold the company.
Right. Unilever.
And hello.
Is it? I think it's Unilever or Procter & Gamble. It's
one of them.
I think it's Procter & Gamble.
And she made a crap ton of money.
Yeah.
And there was this message on social media that said, ever since she sold it to the big conglomerate, the formula has changed and it's causing hair loss. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it spread like wildfire. Mm-hmm. Tell me why this woman came on YouTube, or not on YouTube, on IG, and was like, we just found out that the individual that popularized that bogus message was paid by a competitor.
Yeah, they were promoting competitors' products, or they were. I saw this video, and
what are we doing?
Girl, I mean, but this is actually a much deeper issue than just Miel. Like, there's a lot of misinformation that people are trading on in social media because there's no checks. So it's like people will say, and especially if you say something that causes someone to be afraid, like, here's my warning. You should know that this is harmful for you. Of course, someone's going to pay attention to you. And if you don't have something substantive to offer of truth, then people go to the least common denominator of spreading misinformation that scares people and makes them concerned, and then they think they're doing a good job by starting to spread that to help protect other people. Because if you hear something like that, like, oh, the formula's changed and it causes hair loss, you're not going to double check that necessarily. You're going to share it with all your friends.
I'm going to assume if someone is saying this, then
that it's coming from
somewhat true
Right.
because she's experienced it herself. So that's probably the reason why I've never tried her products, because I saw that video
Right.
or heard that
Which
rumor.
is unfortunate, right?
And it's very unfortunate.
And then once you hear something like that, it's almost impossible to prove a negative, right? So it's just like you can't prove that that's not true other than subjecting yourself to the risk of what they said.
Girl.
So that's very damaging. I actually have used the rosemary products. I have the rosemary oil. I have the rosemary deep conditioner. I use the rosemary deep conditioner. I have not experienced hair loss as a result. But like when somebody spreads something like that, what do you do? And it's like I've watched other people's videos. They check the ingredients from the old formula to the new.
Yeah.
And the way ingredients are listed, they're listed in order of concentration, the highest concentration to lowest concentration.
Right.
And so they're like, it's the same ingredients in the same order. Like, there's nothing. What you talking about? What you talking about?
Do you know how to read?
What you talking about?
But I'm glad that she found out the truth. But it's really just like, come on, y'all. But this segment actually should be called All Skin Folk and Kinfolk.
Yeah.
Because I was very, I felt, right? But we should actually include that in the segment. But
New segment alert.
But yeah, I thought that was
It's
really disheartening to hear.
But I'm glad she said it straight. And I actually have bought my products that I would not have otherwise bought to support them.
Yeah.
Because after I heard her speak at BeautyCon, I mean, they cashed out.
They
honey.
did.
Like hundreds of millions of dollars. She's rich.
Oh, she rich.
But she goes to work every day. And I was like, now let me say this. If I had cashed out and I was rich like that,
I'd be on a yacht in Malta.
Look, I would be on a screen. I'd be like, you want to hear from me? Well,
no, you wouldn't. I would be on a yacht.
I would maybe be like, do you have Wi-Fi? If I have Wi-Fi where
I wouldn't even do that.
I would, if there was Wi-Fi where I happen to be, I would dial in and I would be like, I'm happy to share what I know. However, what I would not be doing is getting my good Gucci on.
I would shoot
because she had her good Gucci on.
Oh, I follow her. Monique
had her good Gucci on.
Monique is on it.
She had a gold short suit pants. That
girl be dressing.
That
girl be dressing.
Let me tell you, she had the blonde curls curling.
Listen, that girl be dressing.
She had the face was flawless.
I don't even follow Mael. I follow her.
Okay.
So I be looking at her outfits. I'll be like, damn. I think she was in Italy recently, and she had like on. The point of the matter is, like, she's showing up.
She's showing up, and she doesn't have to.
And she doesn't have to.
She's doing way more.
But this is what. Her showing up allowed her to find out, get down to the bottom.
She really cares about
what this individual was doing.
Yeah.
And shame on that person.
Yeah, and she really cares about what she's doing. I was introduced to the products at BeautyCon. They redid my curls with the mousse. I went and tried some other ones. I'm going to use my new technique. I'm going to retry the Mael stylers and see how that works.
Love it.
But yeah, I just, my heart goes out to her in particular as a founder because I could see how much she cares. Because I'm like, she has enough cash to
do whatever she wants and she really cares. And it's not for the faint of heart. So as a business owner, as a founder of any company, you're going to be dealing with the BS. Right. Good for her.
Good for her. I love that. Well, yes, we will not be spreading those lies and misinformation.
Yeah, we're always going to double, triple check things that we say here because I don't want to ever be the reason why someone's business or anything gets messed up. And again, to that individual, shame on you.
Shame on you. And I think we should also say none of the things that we are mentioning are sponsored. Like, this is not sponsored. It will be one day.
Yes.
But we will tell you when it is. These are all organic. And the things we talk about, this is all organic. So just people are like...
we're not biased.
Yeah, we're not. We're just actually telling you what we like and use, and none of this is sponsored in any way. So everything is straightforward. I have another Jesus Take the Wheel for this week.
I see what you're going to talk about.
Listen.
He is
Drake.
Oh, Lord.
Why? Okay, few things. He didn't file a lawsuit yet. He filed an action that against his record label, Universal Music Group, to tell them to preserve documents because there may be action forthcoming. because he feels that Kendrick Lamar's mega hit, which happened to be a diss track in response to
that he was begging for.
That Drake wanted the smoke. So the smoke came from the dragon's mouth along with fire. And the fire was DJ Mustard and Kendrick Lamar coming up with the international #1 mega smash hit, They Not Like Us. Now listen, if you want to play with the big boys, you got the big boy toys, you got to be put on your big boy drawers. But in this instance, we have legal action, which he says this is defamatory. I'm having a hard time with this. I'm having a hard time.
You notice I'm not saying anything. Right?
I know. I'm having a hard time with this. I'm having a hard time. I feel like I like Drake's music. I did. But this is not helping.
He just needs to go and sit down and make a summer album.
Yeah.
Go make a summer album.
Like, take all this angst and
put it in an album and just go on being about your business.
Why are you filing? Why are you writing lawsuits and legal filings when you should be writing music and songs? Like, get better. Like, instead of doing this, like, you have the biggest microphone in the world.
Shout out to Charlamagne. Charlamagne, the guy was like, months ago, they're like, what's next for Drake? He's like, and then Charlamagne said he's going to sue. And they was like, he's not going to sue. And here we are. Listen. He sued. I think part of it was also because he said he's in renegotiations with Universal Music Group or something like that.
Whatever.
And then he this is the last thing I'm saying. We're going to move on because I really don't have the patience for this. He said if it was Taylor Swift, okay, they wouldn't do this to her. I think that's where someone somewhere, either he said it himself or his team said it, that like if this happened to Taylor Swift, they wouldn't do this. Moving on.
I'm done.
Moving on.
Well, I mean, if that's listen, okay. We're done.
The equivalent of let me speak to your manager. This is the I'm calling the police on you. This is I mean, there are many things.
This is I'm calling the police, right? If you don't get off my lawn.
Like, come on, dude. You asked for this.
Right.
And why do you think, this is also the final thought, these music labels, their main job is to make money.
Right.
So if they're going to use...
They're on the same label.
They're in the same label. So why are you surprised that they may have used their resources to popularize that song if it's clearly doing its thing?
They're obligated to do. And they were obligated to do it for his music as well. So to me, this is the issue with this. I'm going to just summarize it as this. When things go wrong for you, the race to privilege, and I do mean that. I won't say no pun intended because maybe I do intend the pun, but when you run to privilege when things don't go right for you and then you try to utilize your privilege as one-upsmanship over the person and you know that the circumstances may or may not be in that person's favor or the privilege that you have been conferred may not be earned. To me, there is something in that mentality that just doesn't belong in the space, in the culture that we live in, because we are often on the side of being the one who the privilege is used against as a
exactly
use of force. So I just think it's a rap battle. Like, you need to get in the booth, handle it increase your artistry.
Literally proving
handle it
everything that Kendrick rapped about.
Yeah.
Like, everything he carved. I would just...
So I went and streamed the song 10 times and I'm like, they not like
You're
us.
like, I'm gonna put more money in their pocket.
I know. I went and streamed it 10 times. I ran out of time after the 10th time.
Did you listen to Kendrick's new album?
I haven't listened to all of it, but it's everywhere. It's ubiquitous.
I'm obsessed.
I'm
obsessed. Man at the Garden, TV off, Squabble Up, like on repeat.
We're now in our What's Good segment.
We actually, I'm going to hold off on talking about Kendrick's album for another time because I really want to talk about these lyrics, but because we have so much to get to before the end of the episode. But because this is something that I've been wanting to talk about What's Good for a long time now. And it's a web series called Hassan Hates Portland. It's a show about being Black in one of the whitest cities of America. If you don't know, Portland prides itself in being very weird and very progressive. And I know it intimately because my husband's from Oregon, so I've spent many years, I've been going to Portland for the last 12 years now.
My cousins are from Portland.
So they know about it. Listen, they probably know about this. They probably could watch the show and feel like, yes, this is what. So this is the creator, Misha Webley. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. These episodes are no more than 5 minutes, but they strike this balance of humor and SMH. And there are these like slice of life moments from this character, Hassan, as you watch him interact with these well-meaning white folks in Portland. And they try really hard. They try so hard.
Try hard.
To be, progressive and acknowledging their privilege, but they still end up showing their asses anyway, with microaggressions and unconscious bias and just straight up ignorance. And these episodes are so funny. Like it's a lot of these people are white people that are in these episodes. They're acknowledging their privilege, and it's great.
It's scripted?
It's scripted.
Okay.
Yes, it's scripted. But it's one thing to acknowledge your privilege, but then it's what you do with that privilege is matters just as much. And a blue bracelet ain't it.
Well, yeah, and
you know what I mean?
I think the real conversations that need to be had, and I've been thinking about this a lot in terms of like the race, like having an actual moral reckoning around the creation of race, the creation of the caste and apartheid system that established race in this country. We have never had a moment where we just sit and say,
I know,
this is wrong.
Right.
Nobody has. There's been, well, you're entitled to your point of view. You're entitled to your opinion. There has to be a moment at some point where we say collectively, there's no two opinions. This is wrong.
This is wrong.
There's no point of view. You can't have a point of view that negates my humanity. That is not an opinion. That is not.
I think we're having that moment now.
I think we're getting there. And I think these are necessary pieces of art and content to expose this, especially when it comes to like unconscious bias. Because if you hold it, especially if you're white, it's invisible to you. And so you just think you're following your gut, or you're just doing it. It's just, it feels very seamless and natural. So there's no reason to question it unless you have some way to like separate it from yourself and see it. And so I think, bless the artists that are doing the work of trying to make this visible so that people who hold these biases and who it's invisible for can have the opportunity to grow. Like this, that's a gift, to give someone the opportunity to see a part of themselves that really needs healing, that they don't, it's just there with them.
Exactly.
And if it were me, which I mean, and we all hold biases, like I would be concerned. Like I'm concerned about it. I'm concerned about the biases that I hold against myself, because I'm swimming in this water too.
That's right.
It took me until I was mid-30s to even wear my natural hair texture to even know what it is.
And these episodes are, like I said, they're very short. They're no more than 5 minutes. They're so specific to Portland, but they are also applicable to just overall the BS that we encounter when you come across certain sectors of the white folks that, again, are very well-meaning, but they still haven't really done the work.
Right.
And so there's an episode where he goes, there's called Hassan Hates His Old Neighborhood, and he meets an older man who has been living there for many years, and they talk about gentrification and all that jazz. And then this white couple walks up to them and goes, hey, I haven't finished my food. I'd like to give this to you, assuming that they are homeless. And the older dude smacks the food out of her hands like, I'm not homeless. I was born and raised here. And then she immediately starts crying. Be like, oh my God, I was just trying to do good. And like almost of like, how dare you reject my kindness? Yeah. And then as they walk away.
Going straight to the rescue me.
Exactly. And which her privilege, she was with someone, so he did that to her. Yeah. But then this is where the humor comes in. So as they walk away, homeboy picks up the food and starts eating it. And is like, well, at least this gentrification brought in some good food. Right. And then ends the episode there. Yeah. And it is so hilarious. like, first of all, I love physical comedy. So him smacking the food out of her hand was hilarious. But him eating the food and like continuing the conversation all the time while then saying, well, at least they brought in some good food in the neighborhood. I fell out. I fell out. So check out Hassan Hates Portland.
I love that. I think this is a good time for this. And I think that, at least for me and my circles that are very diverse, these conversations we've been having, you know, and especially when I was writing The Most Wonderful Time, which has a lot to do with internalized bias and the friction and the cost that is felt by people of color who encounter these everyday scenarios where, you know, because even like it's funny to hear about a scenario like this because obviously it's not too far off from reality. Mm-hmm. But the other piece of this is like where there's humor, there's also probably some pain. And like we have unacknowledged pain in that moment. Like, can you imagine just being in your neighborhood and somebody assuming you're homeless just because like of the skin color? Like it's there's a friction, you know, but there's like a friction to this. There's a cost to that I think I'm glad we have humor as a tool to like get past it. But I just think these conversations, we're ready to have them and start introducing the vocabulary. Like, this is not okay. And yes, you can be well-meaning and also wrong.
Yeah.
And you can, and it doesn't make you a bad person. You made a mistake. It's okay.
But your
you
point,
need to address it.
Address it and what? Grow.
Yeah, grow up.
Grow up.
Grow up.
That's it. That's all we're asking for you to do.
This is the grow up era.
It's just grow up.
We have a glow up and grow up era.
That's it.
Grow up.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't have much time, so we're going to get into health and healing.
Yes.
Because we just had Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's been very reflective last couple of weeks for me.
Yeah.
But especially this last week. I'm very thankful for the season that I'm in. And it's in large part to you. Like, honestly, who knew that you shouting hair out of your car when you saw me those many years ago?
Well, it's fabulous. I had to acknowledge the fabulousness.
And just fast forwarding to this moment, it's incredible.
That we have come a really long way of like just building and support. I mean, I think the first conversation we had, when I was like, hair, I need to know how this fabulousness happens. Mm-hmm. And we talked. The first conversation was about the adaptation of my book. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to figure out navigating that landscape. And you're like, let's have coffee. I'll talk with you about this. And I think from the very first conversation, we have been, we come together to try to help facilitate one another's dreams. And the fact that we're at a place now where what we're doing is that, you know, the time we spend together actually is like, I loved our podcast. This is so fun to me. This is like,
I'm having a blast.
It's like my favorite thing to do. And I mean that above writing. So I'm like, y'all might get like 3-4 more books out of me. And this might just be...
You're like, I might retire from writing books. Please don't, because I love your books. But,
I know. But I do love this. And I love that we're able to do it together.
I can't imagine doing this with anyone else, honestly. I really have been focused on like raising my vibrations.
Yes.
And it's working. I already feel the difference. Mm-hmm. I'm more joyful. Mm-hmm. And because now I've created this space to be joyful, and I've gotten rid of all the negative, woe is me, what's going on with the world, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Creating more space for joy has allowed me to think about Christmas decorations.
Oh, I love that.
And now, like... Because usually we have a tree and then that's it. And then I'd be like, we're not doing it anymore because we travel for Christmas all the time. We either go to my people's place in Virginia or Oregon. But this year I have a centerpiece for the coffee table. I have a centerpiece for the dining room table. I have a black Santa cookie jar.
There you go.
I have these pine cone lights that I'm putting around the TV stand. I have this... thing that you light up outside, you put it in your yard and reflects on the house. Like I'm taking it, I know.
You're taking it very seriously.
I am taking it very seriously. And I've never done that. Honestly, I can't remember if I've ever done that. And like, I just never thought about Christmas decorations. And this is a huge departure for me because my mom if you grew up in my house, she turns the house into a winter wonderland. She will have like 12 different nativity sets. She has Mr. and Mrs. Santa from all around the world, all over the house. It's like a storage unit of Christmas decorations exploded in our place. So to grow up to have my own place and not be fully decked out, is weird. If you knew me, you'd be like, why aren't you like your mom? Because I'm very much like my mom.
Yeah.
But I've just never created space for that because I've always been focused on other things.
Yeah.
And for this year, because I've been doing the work,
you have more stable joy.
I have more stable joy.
I love that. Well, I was talking to my mom about this, about traditions and the space for traditions and like the acceleration of our society. Like we're just so busy and feeling decoupled from our traditions. Like, you know, we would always go to one family's house for the holidays or do these, you know, things for travel, or there was always something that was involved a significant amount of effort around the holidays. And now it's kind of like, you know, I don't feel like doing it. But hearing you talk about it and also thinking about this because somebody was talking about getting a Christmas tree and all these things, it's just like there's a reason for these traditions, and I think making space for the joy that tinsel brings, for example. Like who doesn't like string of lights? You know,
exactly.
Like who doesn't like fake snow?
Exactly.
Or, you know, like, I don't know, like glitter and all the
garlands.
It is like literally the most wonderful time in the year because we
Blue
actually
snowmen.
stop. We should be doing this all year round. Like we actually are supposed to stop right at this point in the year, which is like my autoresponder job well done time.
Right.
Okay. And make things beautiful. You know, I think that's part of it. I just bought a candle the other day, and I was like, I put it in my bathroom, and I went to wash my hair. I lit the candle, and I was like, let me just make some ambiance for myself.
Exactly.
I feel you.
So that's what this week has been for me. What about you?
Well, I started juicing again.
Love it.
It was Thanksgiving, and I did the absolute least. Which was also the most, but it was the least and the most. It was the least effort, most results. So we went to Terranea Resort.
I love Terranea.
I just I don't even want to mention it by name because I'm like, I don't want to tell people and they like, go. Don't go. Don't do it to me. Don't go.
Don't go.
Don't go.
Actually, it's horrible.
Don't go. It's terrible. The seafood buffet.
The spa.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
gross.
The lobster tails.
Don't do it.
And the crab legs and
they do not have a good sale going on right now.
No, and the carved turkey with the and like the fact that you don't have to do dishes. All that's horrible.
Yuck!
It's absolutely terrible. And the view of the ocean while you have Thanksgiving dinner, and then you just like get up and go home because you don't have to do dishes.
Not for me.
No, it's terrible. It's the worst. That's why I keep going every year. So every year. Oh no. Listen.
Terranea is my shit.
For Thanksgiving.
I love Terranea.
So they have a listen,
no, in all honesty, Terranea Resort is amazing.
Cook it home. Yeah. No, seriously. No, like I was
like, no, I don't want y'all to go.
Don't be there. But this is what I'm saying. This is my thing, okay? Let me just have one thing. Like I've shared everything. I've told you everything. Are you telling all my hair products, my nails? I've shared everything.
Just let me have this one thing.
Just let me have this.
Hilarious.
Don't come. No, I'm just kidding. Let me stop. I mean, listen, though. The fact that you can make a reservation, drive to the peninsula where you can overlook the water, have an incredible buffet with friends and family, you just show up. Nobody has to worry about, does anybody have what they like? Because that's already been handled. And then just be focused on time together.
Brilliant.
And then get up and leave. Like was a gift that for me, I love that for Thanksgiving. I'm like, if people come in town, I'm like, this is what we're doing.
I will
host you here.
That is such a great idea.
But I was like.
Do you pay for it?
I did. I paid for, not everybody, but I paid for like that is. Ooh. I'm happy to. For if people come in town, I'm like, I will happily host you. Because ultimately, it's very expensive to make all of those dishes.
It is, girl.
And so I'm like, it's kind of winds up being cheaper.
I love that for you.
For time and money spent. And it was like, that was the indulgence for me. Because I feel like I didn't want to cook. I'm editing right now. I'm on a deadline.
That's right.
So it was wonderful to give that to myself and also see everybody enjoy. it was wonderful. So
I love that.
yeah, so that was, but I started juicing. That was the point. After that very rich buffet, that was, don't do that.
Just want to reiterate one more again, do not go there.
I know. I don't want to see, look, I don't want you to be like, I heard your
There's no code to use.
I know.
That's
okay.
hilarious.
But anyway, but I did start juicing, and I do a wonderful juicer that is very easy to clean. That's like the hardest thing about juicing.
Word.
So I did get a really great juicer. I haven't been using it, but I used to juice all the time, green juice. So I did go back to juicing, and it's fantastic. Like, so that's kind of my breakfast. That's how I am making sure I'm getting my minerals and my vitamins. And so I will be on a juicing journey.
Which you will fill us in on.
Yes, I will.
I love, because I want to know more about this too.
This is week 1.
That's awesome.
Okay.
So we have to wrap it up.
We do.
Final word.
Yes. Oh. Wow.
I know.
It
Final
went so
word.
fast.
It goes really does go fast.
Okay.
So mine is really quick.
Okay.
We are all God's favorite.
I love that.
You just need to be your favorite.
We are all God's favorite.
You just need to be your favorite. Shout out to DoorDash. This is what I'm saying.
Boom.
DoorDash be dropping these gems.
Well, mine is, who are you learning from and how you speak to yourself? Do you need to learn a new way to speak to yourself? Are you saying the highest praise, just like Wesley Adi, or the toughest critique? Are the words you're saying to yourself, do they make you stand taller, or do they make your shoulders slump? So your self-talk and how you're talking to yourself, does it make you stand taller, or does it make your shoulders slump? How are you talking to yourself? So check in on this, and if you need to make changes, find a model for how people speak to others in a way that makes them stand taller, and use that as a model for how you speak to yourself after that.
Love it.
Final word.
Final word. Well, we'll talk to you guys when we talk to you guys.
And we'll be back.
Thanks for listening.
Okay. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.